What's up, YouTubers? PokeJediTrek's here. So today I have another cooking video for you because I know yesterday I posted a video on how to make those air fryer jumbo shell mini tacos, but I'm posting another one here because as many of you know, I didn't do one for May, and whenever I shoot whenever I am unable to do cooking videos because of circumstances outside my control or something, it's because well, if I was not able to do a cooking video for a month, I often try to make up for some lost time by doing a second one per month, or when the opportunity arises. So anyway, today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my mother's favorite things to make for breakfast on days she has off, or on notable observances like Christmas or Valentine's Day or Easter, or even Halloween for that matter. I'm going to be showing you how to make scones. So let's go over what we need. So to make scones, you're going to need eggs, flour, salt, baking powder, baking soda, sugar, butter, buttermilk, and vanilla. So let's get started. So first things first, you're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take a mixing bowl. You need a big one. And what you're going to do is you're going to add 2 cups of flour to a large mixing bowl. You're also going to need a third of a cup of sugar. You're also going to need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So as you saw, I just added 2 cups of flour. Now I'm going to add 1/3 cup of sugar. And then just grinding up the salt to put into the and then here's 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 1.25. Then next you're going to take a knife, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut off about. You're going to need 6 tablespoons of butter. Whatever's left over of the butter, you can just store in a butter container to use for spreading all over stuff like bread and pancakes. But anyway, and then what you're going to do is you're going to cut your butter up into small squares. Oh, and make sure that the butter is chilled, like it just came out of the fridge. Okay, it's like this. You're going to cut it up into little squares. There we go. Alright, and now that you've cut your butter up, you're going to add it to the flour, to your dry ingredient mixture that you mixed up earlier. And then you're going to And then you're going to take both your hands and you're going to mix it all up. This can be a pretty tricky process, but it's worth it. In addition, you're also going to want to make sure that it resembles that the butter is well mixed in. So basically, you're going to break the butter up into the flour, baking soda, baking powder, salt, and sugar mixture. Weird. I'm having apologies if I'm making some weird noises. Just I'm having a little trouble breathing. And not only that, but I also forgot to mention this to you, but at the time of when I'm shooting this, I just woke up and it's only 8, as I've been awake for nearly an hour. So now that the butter has been mixed into coarse crumbs, it's time to move on to this next step. Now for this next part, you're going to add half a cup of buttermilk to a small bowl. You're also going to add an egg as well. So here's the half a cup of buttermilk. Pretty thick, isn't it? And then you're also going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract as well. Let's see. Half, fourth, half, third, whole, 1.25, 1.5. Now you're going to be adding your mixture of buttermilk, vanilla, and egg to the bowl, and you're going to stir it up like so. So now for this next step, depending on if you have if you don't have a baking sheet, what you're going to need to do is, I wouldn't recommend this, but I'm spraying down a scone pan. And if you don't have a scone pan, you're generally going to have to mold your scones and put them on wax paper and form them into little triangles to make them scones. And you're going to want to form them into little triangles. But anyway, which can be pretty tricky. So if you have a scone, so this next step is depending on if you have a scone pan or not. And this one applies. But what you're going to do is you're going to try to shape your scones into a scone pan, because it can be pretty tricky if you don't have one. Especially it'd be ideal if you like scones or not. If you really like scones. Oh, and one more thing. This is a process where your fingers can get really sticky. So I would recommend washing off the dough, washing the mixture off, because I wouldn't recommend licking it off your fingers because of the raw eggs. With the oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, what you're going to do is you're going to put these scones in the oven and you're going to let them bake for 20 minutes. All right, 20 minutes have passed. Let's shut the oven off and pull these out. As good as they look, now we gotta let them sit for about 5 minutes because they're hot and you don't want to burn yourself. Alright, after the scones have had enough time to cool, you're going to transfer them to a cooling rack. Let me adjust the camera so you can... Bingo. So now I'm going to sample a scone to see how it turned out. Pretty spot on flavor, I'll admit that much. So that's how to make scones. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.